Hey everybody, this is another video that I'm making about kind of multidimensionality, but I wanted to talk about I wanted to incorporate some oneness into this video, so I'm going to talk about the 5 types of lightworkers, or starseeds, or earth angels, whatever you want to call them personally. It doesn't matter really. And in this 5, I want you to think about and visualize a circle. Like the ring that goes on your finger. Every type of light worker out of these 5, they work together, they blend. They're constantly helping each other and assisting each other, where one is giving the other what is lacking, and then vice versa. That one is also reciprocating. And in this, it forms a harmony, like 5 notes being sung at the same time to create one note that sounds just magnificent. We work the same way, and that's what creates this soup of oneness that we all envelop together as the whole that we are. So, the very first type of lightworker is the Akashic entanglement lightworker. What do I mean by Akashic entanglement? Okay, so the Akashic record is a multi-dimensional record of a person or a being or a lightworker's past lives. Every single past life that they've ever lived, every event that they've ever went through, every piece of adversity that they've ever endured, every bit of suffering, every bit of joy, every bit of satisfaction, and every experience is logged, sort of, in a multi-dimensional way. And it, over time, forms a record that people refer to as the Akashic record. Now, it's not like the library that we go to, where it's like a very linear A, B, C, D, E, F, G type of way of reading the record. It's not like that at all. It's very multidimensional. So instead of it being like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, it's like all the information all at once, burst information. Then you have to go back and you have to be able to pick it apart and stuff, which takes a very conceptual mind, which I'm sure if you're watching this, you probably have somewhat of a conceptual mind. But multidimensionality is difficult to understand for some people. But entanglement is the other half of this, and the entanglement means that these lifetimes are all entrained together and connected. So, similar to how if you had 2 acoustic guitars that were set up on stands, facing up, right beside each other, and then you go and you pick the very top string on one of them, the other one, without even touching it, the top string on that other guitar that you didn't touch will vibrate. So they start to resonate with each other, and that resonance of that frequency causes the other guitar string that wasn't touched to start vibrating just like the other one is. So, if you think about Akashic entanglement, it essentially means that this lightworker is a very, very, very die-hard motivated type of lightworker. And he's motivated mostly, she's motivated mostly by the ambition that comes from the push that they get, that comes from the Akashic record that they have. So if they've lived lifetime after lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, and they've accumulated this sort of lightworker work ethic that carries over lifetime to lifetime, and so they might have this unreal, crazy ambition to do their light work. These types of light workers often become like channels, authors, speakers, writers, things that require a lot of flow and stuff like that. They're constantly doing, and they're pushed to do so to a level that most people would say that there's something wrong with him. It looks like obsession to most people from the outside, but that's the very first type, the doer. Now the second type is a partial Akashic entangled lightworker. So this is the type of lightworker that still has a really burning desire to do things, but they're not nearly as motivated and don't nearly have the ambition as the number one, the Akashic entanglement lightworker does. They deal a lot with since if you think about the number two duality, they deal with a lot of duality. They also deal with a lot of things that are of the third dimension. So anything that's like very physical, 3D type stuff is very much number two lightworker territory. But the cool thing about the number twos is they often build and create systems that they give as help to the number one lightworkers. So the number one lightworkers, they just do and keep going, and they often burn themselves out, either emotionally, physically, or both. And so the number two lightworkers create these systems of help that they are then able to assist and give to the number one lightworkers to help balance them back out. And it helps that this is like their job in creating the harmony of the oneness of the ring that we talked about in the beginning. The number three lightworker is the meditators. The meditators are, I'm sure a lot of you can relate with this one. They are the catalyst lightworkers. There are three. And number three in Tibetan numerology means the catalyst. A catalyst is an energy that changes other energies around it while it itself stays the same. So the number threes change the energies of all of the other energies that they encounter while they themselves remain the same. They are responsible for anchoring the energy of all of the other light workers together. They help to also anchor a lot of the energies from the earth, because the earth is also part of us. We actually created the consciousness of Gaia. After humanity had evolved beyond a certain state, and they've been on the planet long enough, the raising of the humanity's own consciousness resulted in them imbuing the actual earth with enough consciousness to where it was then able to become sentient itself and become its own living, breathing entity. But it's a part of us. The number three light workers can change things by their very presence, and they hold the harmony for all of the other light workers and holds them all together. It's the glue that holds every other light worker together, the number threes. The number four are the tree huggers, the nature fanatics, the people that absolutely love anything nature, anything that has chlorophyll in it. You know what chlorophyll is. These are earth workers, and they are very, very good at talking and communicating with plant life, nature, and animals. They are very much animal whisperers. So if you have a very, very good knack for communicating with animals and sharing the empathy with them as well as the plant life and stuff, you might be a number four type of light worker. A tree hugger is just a catch-all phrase. It can mean, it's just a word or label that we put on it to envelop the energies of what I'm trying to convey, but it doesn't have to be tree hugger. So I hope no one takes offense to that. They help anchor the energy of Gaia, and they provide energies of stability, security, safety, and oneness and unity. Because think of it, it's a 4. And number 4s in Tibetan numerology is a Gaia number, a number that represents the energies of Earth, the energies of togetherness, unity, stability, concreteness, security. They also, by being so in tune with Gaia and the energies of the Earth, they are then able to transfer and give that energy to all of the other light workers, the 1, 2, and 3, and 5 types of light workers. So if you notice, as we go along here, every single type of light worker has something that they give to the whole. They do something that provides to the whole. And then all of the other light workers all do their own thing that helps provide for the lack or loss or shortcomings of that one. So it all works together and blends together perfectly. Now the last type of light worker are called the anchors. And they serve as anchors for all of the souls. They may not appear to be very much on the outside. They might not appear to be doing very much. They might look a little bit pointless, a little lazy, a little insignificant. But that couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth. They help to spread the energies of compassion amongst the earth. They are especially attuned to help spreading I just said compassion. They are very good at spreading compassion to all of the other people on the earth, including the light workers that are 1, 2, and 3, and 4. They often go off to write books, do public speaking. How they treat others is how they create the anchors to us that help to anchor all of the energies. And this soul is said by people that teach it, including myself, but I got this information from the Cryon channeling information. But it is said that these number 5 light workers are very much powerful, and they are, if you wanted to compare them, which it's not really something that you do when there's multi-dimensional things, but I mean, we're going to just for the sake of this example, they are said to be more powerful than any of the other types of light workers combined together. And they are often associated with any efforts of change that is taken within the earth and all of its stuff that goes on it. But all of these types of light workers, I wish I had a better way of describing multidimensionality, because it's so perfectly in sync. Yeah, I don't know of an example that I could use for multidimensionality. Like a song, maybe, for instance. Like a song, you have instruments, you have musicians, you have different types of different types of instruments. You have different notes that you play, different chords, different chord progressions, different melodies. You have different time signatures. The length of the songs are different, and all of those pieces and parts on an individual basis are very, very insignificant. Kind of just like if you play the note C as opposed to playing the entire song in the key of C, you could tell a difference. One seems very, very boring, while the other one seems very full and dynamic and harmonious. So the actual song would be the example of the multidimensional one. It's not a very good example. I need to Google some examples of this so I could help teach it better. But every single type of light worker is very, very much important on the earth right now, and they all have their own specific jobs that they do that help fulfill all of the needs of the planet and of the humanity that's living on it or upon it. Now, just because I put things in boxes for you so I could describe them to you doesn't mean that people are limited to those boxes and have to stay in those boxes. There's many, many, many instances of light workers where these people are a blend. One might have 1 and 2 light worker types. Another one might have the number 3, 5, and 1. Another one might just have the 4. It's a very beautifully unique system that ensures that every light worker is taken care of. Like the earth light workers, the number 4s, they help keep everybody else grounded. Even if you are across the world and you know nothing about this information, if you're ungrounded ever, on a energetic level, you have a antenna and transmitter of energy, just as the other light worker has an antenna and transmitter of energy. So when you're ever ungrounded, you are sending a signal to that light worker who is unconscious of this. I would be amazed if any light worker was ever conscious of this had taken place. But it assists the ungrounded one by sending balanced energy, grounded energy to that other one without even realizing that's what it's doing. But that's how we help each other. We have all of these different little perfect ways that help keep everyone balanced. The number 1s help to do a lot of the heavy lifting and stuff, so all of the other ones don't have to do all the heavy lifting. The number 2s help to heal the number 1s so that they can keep going, keep doing. Because if they didn't have the number 2s that were helping them, they would burn themselves out and they would not be any help to anybody. The number 3s change the entire earth just from their own sense of compassion alone. Compassion is, everybody loves compassion. I don't know anybody that doesn't. And I already told you about the number 4s, and the number 5s help to impart change, and they hold all of the energy of everything. They anchor all of the energy. I'm sure you've heard the term, and people say in passing or in conversation about how they are anchors and they have to anchor the light, you know. It's those types of people. So everyone has a very specific duty or a set of duties that can be a blending of a couple, or it can be just one. But it's essential and necessary and appropriate nonetheless. So these are the 5 types of light workers. I hope that you guys like this video. If you guys did like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you guys want to subscribe and feel inspired to do so, feel free to do. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed all this info, and I hope you guys have a blessed day. Thank you guys.